What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks and AP. AP, the Super Bowl is over. The NFL season has ended, and all eyes are now moving towards the NBA. So we really got a lot of pressure. We got to be on our game. I had a lot of fun last night. A little late start today, but I feel pretty good about today's card. How are you feeling today, AP?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not struggling a little bit today, like, are you really a sports fan? I mean, come on. Late night last night, good game. Really good game all around. You got to be excited about the NFL and where it's at. I mean, the product was fantastic down the stretch. The playoffs were phenomenal. Super Bowl was phenomenal. I know a lot of people were worried about, maybe the game yesterday getting out of hand, which – could have. If they would have came out, the Rams, and if they would have just been that aggressive on defense, could have been a different game. But from what I saw, fantastic game, came down to the final plays, and was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, Tyler. What were your quick thoughts on the game, since we did do an NFL rundown today, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into tonight's card?
Yeah, I mean, it was an entertaining game. It kind of went the way we thought. Just that offensive line couldn't give them any chances to hold. Yeah. And, I mean, everyone's complaining about the flags at the end. But, I mean, they missed flags on Cincinnati. Like the T. Higgins touchdown, he face-mashed Jalen Ramsey. Yeah. That shouldn't have been a touchdown. So, you can't really argue that. I'm just glad it was a good game. I made my money off it on the spreadsheet plays, so I'm happy.
Yeah, definitely. I did pretty well there on the spreadsheet. So, but people don't want to hear too much about what we did yesterday. They're looking forward tonight and making even more money. So hopefully you have some of those winnings in your pocket and you're ready to reinvest. Let's look at the first game on tonight's card. The Detroit Pistons only catching 3.5 in Washington. That surprised me. I thought this line should be a little higher. We'll start with you, Tyler. Is there a reason this line's only 3.5? My model's got it at like 6.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are in a skid right now. Detroit's 1-9 straight up, Washington 2-8. Neither team's really playing very good defense or shooting the ball well. But you look at the way they match up, Detroit's pretty much got all their guys back while they played each other earlier in the year with all their guys, and Washington had Beal, and Washington only beat them by 4. Now there's no Beal, no Dinwiddie, no Gafford. Porzingis is still out. Give me Detroit here to win this game spread. I think they can pull this game out. You're gonna have like guys like Neto out there trying to guard Cade Cunningham. He's gonna eat them up.
All right, AP. Tyler thinks that this line is correct, and it should be this way. Maybe I'm not accounting for injuries enough, and of course, it is hard to readjust, right, with the moving pieces here. So definitely feel a little better out of the All-Star break. What are your thoughts on the Pistons and the Wizards tonight?
Yeah, the other thing too, like I like Tyler's call. Marvin Bagley, we should be able to see him in this game. I'm really curious to see, what they're gonna let him do today. I kind of feel like, my expectation is maybe 20 to 22 minutes off the bench, but we'll see. So they kind of have this little group that they're building around where they should be able to be competitive. Jeremy Grant, he said he wants to be like, he doesn't want to get traded. He wants to be the alpha on the team. My thing to him is like, man, you got to actually play like it if you're going to say that, because he's been playing like a number, 3 on a team. Like Sadiq Bey's been out playing Jeremy Grant. So obviously Grant's just, what is he? I mean, he's had like 7 games back too. But the other thing too with the Wizards, with Neto there, they're running out. They're giving Kispert like 35 minutes. KCP's been up and down. Like they got a 10 to 11 man rotation, and it's all centered around Kyle Kuzma. So I do think this is a game that the Pistons could come in and surprise the Wizards. So I'm going to side with Tyler on that one. The other thing too to keep in mind for DFS purposes, Detroit's actually been playing at a little bit faster of a pace of late. I think the last I looked, they're right around 10th or 11th. So I kind of like this, pieces from this game in DFS formats. Like I want to, Bagley on DraftKings is 3.3K. I have no idea what his role is going to be, but at 3.3K, we can take a shot on him. Like if he gets 20 minutes, he can do exactly what we need him to do in those 20 minutes against a smaller Wizards team. So going to be an interesting first game out of the gate. I definitely lean here with Tyler on the Pistons +4.
And just because I haven't talked to you since the trade deadline, AP, let's talk about these two teams real quick. He won't play tonight, so it doesn't affect our handicap. But the Wizards adding Porzingis, kind of interesting, almost like a Jeremy Grant situation, right? You get to be the man on a bad team rather than be second fiddle on a contender. What do you think of the Wizards' addition of Porzingis, and do you think Bagley can finally reach his potential in Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, the Wizards are still kind of looking for that identity, right? Like, the problem with Porzingis is he's never healthy. Like, what was the quote I saw? They call him the unicorn because, you never see him. I forget. Yeah, I forget where I heard that. But, yeah, so if he can stay healthy, he could have an impact here. I think, like, for fantasy, when he's in there and he's healthy, the Wizards are going to be a fun team to target. But they're still missing that identity. Like, I don't really know what this team is outside of a bunch of kind of random dudes that get out there and play basketball. So, well, it'll be interesting to see how him and Kyle Kuzma play together. But you got to like how Kyle Kuzma has emerged. I mean, he's the alpha on this team, and he's slowly taking his game up to that next level.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about living up to his potential, Kuzma definitely taking advantage of the extra opportunities he's getting in Washington. But you make a great point, AP, right? It's just a collection of guys that could really help a contender, but they don't have, really the alpha guy to lead them to being a contender. And we won't get into it today, but I have questions on whether or not Bradley Beal is that guy. The Oklahoma City Thunder are catching 10 points against the New York Knicks. Tyler, I was reading about the Knicks this morning, getting ready. This was a fantastic stat that I found that I never would have noticed because I probably don't watch as many Knicks games as I should. Did you know that Alec Burks has a better shooting percentage behind the three-point line than he does at the rim? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy to me. Anyways, had to throw that one out there. Knicks laying 10 against the Thunder. We like grabbing the Thunder with double digits, but are we going a little bit too far here? What are your thoughts, Tyler?
No, I mean, I kind of like the Thunder here. I mean, you see all the big men on the Knicks are on the injury report. Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel. Randall's the only healthy one. He's only about 6'9". They got some guys that could body him, but no SGA still. Dort out makes me kind of not like OKC, but at 10, and it's the Knicks, I think you got to take OKC because we could definitely see the Knicks blow this game and only win it by, say, 3 points to where they have to come back and win it late. Or they blow the entire game like they've done before. Or maybe you even sprinkle this money line. So I'm kind of worried without Dort. I'm going to stay away from the side the most part. But if you had to pin me down, give me OKC.
Yeah, AP, total of 208. Usually when you're catching 10 points on these low totals, it is attractive. Break this game down. And then Richie Smalls has a great question, especially from the DFS perspective. He's wondering if you're targeting Grimes or Quickly tonight. Go ahead, take it away, AP.
Yeah, I mean, this spread, it just seems like, I don't know, it seems like a complete trap. Like, if I had to bet a side here, it's like, I mean, man, the Knicks just haven't looked complete, from start to finish in games. OKC shorthanded, but I would still side with the points. But, I mean, man, it's without Dort in there. They still have Giddey, but it seems like, I mean, they're trying to lose games, which makes sense. But and Giddey's only been getting right around 30 minutes. So really tough spot. I'm probably just going to cross this game off betting-wise. I do think Quentin Grimes looks to be a guy that Phibbs likes. So played 37 minutes in the rotation. I'm not – like Quickly used to be a guy that they really liked, but, man, he's he played, 2 minutes in the second half against Portland. Didn't get a ton of run, 8 minutes in the first half. So Grimes was the guy that got all the run there, and he was a stud, absolute stud in the second half there. So I think on DraftKings specifically, he's going to be very popular tonight. If I had to pick one or the other, Grimes or Quickly, it'd definitely be Grimes. I guess we could trust that rotation a little bit more, but Randall's the guy that I've interest in. It looks like he's really rounding into form. He's had a bunch of really good games of late where he's taking 20-plus shots. And we've seen this emergence kind of with R.J. Barrett off the court. So with the R.J. Barrett off, the offense now runs through Randall. I really want you guys to take on Kimba. So Kimba with R.J. Barrett out there, he's even been very vocal about it. He's still learning his role in this offense. And that's kind of the third piece, when the ball, they want the ball in RJ Barrett's hands, then Randall, then Kemba. But now with Barrett out, we saw signs of increased usage, increased opportunity. And, he had 23 points against the Blazers. So, I mean, I don't know. Kemba, I'm torn on. He's hurt my feelings a lot, but he's really cheap. Do you guys have an opinion on him? I'm curious because I think this could be a decent spot for him to kind of get loose again tonight.
No, I think it's definitely a great spot for him to get loose because point guards have been killing OKC all year. You figure there's no Dort to take out one of the guards if he does get hot.
No.
So, I mean, it's going to be guys like Trey Mann and Giddey out there trying to guard him. So, he gets hot, he could definitely put up another 20-plus point game here.
Tyler, as a Knicks fan, you got to get tired of Thibodeau, right? I mean, he's got to go at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, I mean, he finally plays Cam Reddish and he gets him hurt.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable here.
Yeah, he's got to go.
He's good for 1 year. He used him for 1 year and then get rid of him. Let's talk about my team, the Sacramento Kings. AP last Tuesday. So upset, right? Hey, it's a brand new week. Not too upset about the trade anymore, right? It seems to have rejuvenated Aaron Fox. He's looking to be like that, almost all-star player that he was last year. But he definitely feels some energy, right? And it's almost like the Aaron Rodgers thing, right? You claim you're building around me, but you keep drafting my replacements. What's going on here? Sabonis seems to fit in well. The defense was pretty bad to begin with, but the defensive rating's about the same with Sabonis in the lineup. Granted, it's 2 games, but the offensive rating's gone up 15 points. So this team definitely knows how to score. They're going against a Brooklyn team that, of course, made major changes, but we will not see them in full tonight. Of course, since it's in Brooklyn, there'll be no Kyrie Irving. And Ben Simmons is not ready to play with. It will be the debut of Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, who I already see people targeting on DraftKings here as he's less than 6K. Hey, first, give me your thoughts about the trade and then go ahead and break down this game, AP.
Yeah, I think this trade was perfect for them to just to build some like relevance with what the Kings need is like they just need to win some games. They need to make the playoffs, and they need to get people engaged and get some of these players engaged with them. And I think Sabonis is the perfect guy to do that because he can literally carry exactly what he's going to get you. He's going to get you 20, double-digit points. He's going to get you a bunch of boards, and he's going to make you competitive in these games. So I think it was a good move, and I really, like this, if Fox and him can get this pick-and-roll game going, they're going to torch teams exactly like the Nets, what we're going to see tonight. And I'll go right into it. Like, this is my favorite bet. I think this number is silly. I think the Kings are going to come in and maybe not mop the floor with the Nets because, I mean, you got Curry – You got some guys that can keep them in it, but still, give me Fox, give me Barnes, give me Sabonis, and then some good pieces off the bench here. I love the Kings tonight. My favorite bet on the board tonight for sure is the Kings side. I think they're going to get it done. I mean, the Nets. I mean, how many games have they lost in a row? Like they need their big
10 or 11. It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's going to be one more. Yeah, I mean, it's not like people not watching the games could like say, oh, Kyrie can't, carry a team. He's getting triple teamed out there. Like I saw a couple plays where he was beating doubles and triples and getting to the rim. Like this dude is still elite. He just needs KD and others out there to help, take all the pressure off of him. So I think the Nets are still going to be fine on the season, obviously. But in this game specifically, with new guys coming in, haven't played with you always have that acclimation period. I like the Kings. The Kings have looked good. They're coming off 2 wins, a win over the Wolves, and then a nice win over in DC. So I think they're going to make it another one over the Nets tonight in a big way. Give me Fox, give me Sabonis tonight in DFS. I think this is a perfect match for them to get the pick and roll going. I think we're going to see big numbers out of those two.
Tyler, I love that breakdown. Did you want to join in, or are you going the other way?
No, I'm on Sacramento here. And can someone explain why the line's moving down? Opens at 4. It's down to 1.5 now. Like, I mean, who's betting on the Nets here because Seth Curry and Drummond are playing? They also have a washed Aldridge coming off the injury report and Claxton, but Sabonis could eat all them guys up. Drummond's only going to play like 20 to 25 minutes. They're not going to run him a ton, I don't think. What do you think, AP, on that? Do you think he gets the full run?
Yeah, no, I think so. One, we need to see the starting lineup. I have him coming off the bench, but I think he'll play himself into more minutes. So I do think he's looked fresh on the season, and I think if they want to be competitive in this game, I would rather have Drummond out there than Aldridge. So Drummond has shown with with Philly this year that he can, obviously have a good role on the team. So give me Drummond for more minutes. We want to see starting lineups. So I do have Aldridge starting, but Drummond potentially playing more minutes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and he might be the sneaky addition in that trade, right? When we start looking ahead towards the playoffs, because I feel like the way that you're going to beat the Nets is through rebounding and really beating them on the glass. And I think he really addresses that deficiency. So it'll be interesting.
Can you imagine if they'd have had him last year and he didn't go? Didn't he end up in LA last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if he would have just went to Brooklyn.
He probably should have. Well, he's there now, so it'll be interesting to see how this works out. Happy to hear that you guys do like the Kings. Nothing out of rotation order, so I can just go in
couple
order.
Of the prop plays I was going.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That I like are in the chat already too. The Sabonis double and win. Sabonis over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You could do his points plus rebounds at 30.5. He's definitely good for 20 and 11 here. Brooklyn's given up 25 points and 16 rebounds to centers. We all know he's going to eat in this pick and roll tonight, so I like those.
All right. I'm happy to hear us targeting Sabonis. And, Kings fans, not too upset about the trade, and it's only been 6 days. The Portland Trailblazers, wow, this line's moved a lot. It's because Giannis is out, huh? Because this was 15 this morning. It's down to 11.5. Milwaukee Bucks laying 11.5, total 225. It's in Milwaukee. Portland sneakily won 2 in a row. They beat the Knicks on, Saturday or Sunday. They got a 3 or 4 point win in New York. They're building around Simons right now. He's definitely been playing well. The Bucks were absolutely crushing, win 3 out of the 4 of their road trip by more than 20 points, but then they lose by more than 22. The Phoenix Suns, the best team in the NBA right now, if you're looking at the record. So it looks like a spot for the Bucks to get back, but they are going to sit Giannis. I definitely like the points at 15. Still kind of lean there, Tyler. At 11.5. I think Portland might be a little bit underrated because they sold everyone off, but it seems like they have the young players to step in and at least keep this competitive. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a bad matchup for them, even if Giannis is out. I mean, the Bucks are just rolling right now. Their field goal percentage is 4th in the entire league over the last 5 games. Their 3-point percentage is 3rd. The opponent 3-point percentage for Portland over that 5-game span is 28th. These guys are just going to let them fly, and if they're hitting their threes, they're just going to run away with this game. And then bigs have killed Portland too. 26 points and 12 rebounds for power forwards, 23 points and 16 rebounds for centers. That double and win on Bobby Portis, I like that a lot. We the people gave that out in the chat. Mm-hmm. And then the other one I like was Bobby Portis, 18 plus points and win, because his usage is going to be up without Giannis in there.
AP, Tyler's pretty big on Bobby Portis. How are you approaching this one?
Yeah, so, pretty big move in the line here because it was like 15.5, 16 early this morning. And, Giannis now doubtful, which means, come on, like they're going to sit him here. There's no reason they need to play him. But still, they have good pieces, Drew Holiday, Middleton, Portis. I would be really cautious, like taking the points here with the Blazers. I think the Bucks get it done. Like while the Blazers have pieces that can make this game competitive, I just don't know if they have enough. So I think this game is more intriguing, though, for DFS. So instead of betting this, I think it's one we can target because now without Giannis in there, we know Portis is a better play. We know Middleton's a better play. We know Holiday's a better play. And we have to assume that the Blazers should be able to keep it within 15, 18 points. And if they do, those starters are going to be out there. So it's going to be more run for those 3 guys. And we can run it back with Simons. Winslow, maybe in tournaments, maybe not with Hart there, but, maybe Nurkic. So a little game stack here, I think a DFS is going to be really nice tonight. But, Portis, I agree with that. I like him tonight in DFS as well. So I like to see that Tyler likes the props on him. But, I'm going to be out betting this game. I do like it, though, in DFS.
All right, let's talk about one of the hottest teams in the league. The Toronto Raptors will be in New Orleans.
Before you go into that spread, I want to touch on something about that. The last couple of matchups they've had between these teams, like Milwaukee, I think just has their number. They just blow this team out. They won by 29, 18, 28, 21, 43, and 8. Like I think even without Giannis, they're just going to steamroll this team. So I agree with AP on that minus 11.5. I'd probably take that side.
You know what's funny is until last season, the Bucks without Giannis were like the best bet in basketball because they would just lower these lines and then they would just come out and they would play exactly the same. Last year, it wasn't necessarily this case. And so far this season, they have struggled without him in the lineup. But, if you want to go back to the priors there, this is a team that has done pretty well without him in the lineup. So I can see why you guys are going there, the superstar subtraction, but you're still laying 11.5. So it is a tough spot. Anything more on this one, Tyler, before I talk about the Pelicans?
Nope, that's it. We can jump into that game.
All right, let's talk about, like I said, the Toronto Raptors are one of the hottest teams in the league. The New Orleans Pelicans will be catching 3.5 at home, total of 222. We just spoke about the Blazers. One person they're missing is CJ McCollum because he is playing for the New Orleans Pelicans now. Wasn't too impressed to see him start there. Didn't look like he added too much. Of course, don't want to take too much from 1 or 2 games, but obviously he's going to have to really get things going to go ahead and make that trade worthwhile for the team, as they did give up a first-round pick in order to get CJ McCollum. Raptors, man, they're playing so well. They're finally, everything's coming together. They were a team that was really hurt by injuries and the COVID protocols earlier in the year, but now that they're all out on the floor, you could see team president Masai Ujiri's vision for this team coming together, as they just have a bunch of long athletic defenders that can switch with ease, and they're just really tough to handle on the front court. They can really clamp you down on the defense, even without the traditional rim protection that we usually think to be the key to an NBA defense. Tyler, we'll start with you. Is it too easy to just take Toronto here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not overthinking it. Give me Toronto here. 8-2 straight up in their last 10. 8-2 ATS in their last 10. New Orleans is 1-4 at home in their last 5 at ATS. So even though they've been playing a little better, the only teams they've beaten in this last 10 game span spread is Houston twice, Detroit once, and then they beat, let me pull it up real quick, Denver. They beat Denver by 8. So they caught Denver on a night. This Toronto team, I think, matches up well with them. I mean, maybe Joe Val has a little advantage on the inside, but Toronto's just going to eat everywhere else. Van Fleet's going to kill Graham. So I like Van Fleet 25 plus and win at about plus 400 on FanDuel. That's my favorite one. And if you wanted to drop that number a bit, you can get 22 plus. And I think Siakam just continues his great play too. You could do his double and win, or even 20 plus points and win there.
All right. And AP, this is definitely a team that you can't look away from when it comes to DFS. Nick Nurse loves to run these guys out there, right? Got a little Thibodeau in his veins. How are you approaching this game?
Yeah. I think, the Raptors are always going to be in play. And finally, they brought down some prices. So Anunoby and Barnes were like constantly overpriced. And now they're a little bit more playable, in my opinion, at 6'4". As far as the side goes, I mean, I do got to lean the Raptors too. But I will say, like, CJ McCollum looked, he looked good but it was against the Spurs, fast-paced game. He put up 36 and 11 rebounds. So, I mean, obviously he wants to be that dominant guy on this team. You can already get a sense of that. So, basically what I see here is they're going to need time. Once they get some time, eventually if they could get Zion back, get him to lose some weight, get him healthy. I don't know. I mean, the Pelicans could be fun with McCollum, Ingram, Zion in there. I mean, I still think Devontae Graham. I don't know. I'm not too sold on him. I'm a Kansas guy too, so I like the guy. I don't know if he's a good fit here. I don't know where he'd be a good fit at all. Maybe off the bench or something. Come in, make some shots. That seems to be more of his role. But yeah, give me Fred VanVleet. Give me the backcourt here. I'm always attacking the Pelicans in the backcourt. Fred VanVleet or Gary Trent. So Gary Trent, this dude's been phenomenal. Coming off a down game, he's the perfect. So our guy Snyder has termed flop lag. He's the perfect flop lag type of play. Coming off a 59 piece, then a 19. I think he could have a nice game here too. It's going to be him or Fred VanVleet, in my opinion. So a decent game that I think we can target in fantasy. I'm not as interested though on the Pelicans side.
All right. Reminder that great breakdown was brought to you by Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. If you're not a member, head on over to runpuresports.com. Use the promo code GETBETS. The Orlando Magic, another double-digit spread here, Tyler, plus 11.5 in Denver, taking on the Nuggets, taking on my MVP, Nikola Jokic. What do you think of this game? Are we going to get another MVP caliber performance from the Serbian great?
I mean, they better against this big front court for the Magic. They're not going to play any defense against him. He's just going to bully him down low. And, I mean, they're going to pick up an easy win here. The Magic don't play much of any defense. Maybe Cole Anthony has a decent game, but I just see Denver just doing what they have to do to win the game here. Jokic is just going to eat him up. He probably puts up a triple-double. He probably got 15-plus rebounds in this matchup, too. I like that performance double better than the triple-double because you're only getting plus 160 on a triple-double and win, where if we take the 15-plus rebounds and win, we're getting about plus 300. So that's my favorite play on this game. And if you do, for some reason, think maybe the Magic upset him again because they caught him earlier in the year, I would take a Cole Anthony 18-plus points and win at like plus 800 because if they're going to win, it's going to be a big game from him.
Yeah, AP, I mean, it's kind of tough for these East Coast teams taking this West Coast trip. Magic have been out here for a little while here. Now they take on a tough Denver team that, in spite of all the injuries, is still hanging tough. They're still in the playoff race. And, of course, Tyler and I do enjoy having that MVP argument. And Jokic is definitely making it easy for me to argue for him. How are you approaching this game?
Imagine tagging me in a block when my guy puts up a 40-point triple-double and 70%
It's
shooting.
A game-winning block.
My guy didn't need one. He had a poster and the triple-double in the win.
Yeah, I mean, tough spot here for the Magic. I'm like, I'll be honest, like I haven't, like DFS wise, definitely, I haven't had a good read on the Magic at all. So Cole Anthony or Jalen Suggs is kind of how I see it. If you want to target them in DFS, I just like my thing is like I got so many other guards ranked ahead of them that are in better spots. But what that's going to do is lower ownership on those guys. So in tournaments, yeah, you can always make a case for either of those two guys. Cole Anthony capable of putting up a big number. Jalen Suggs is as well. We saw that against Phoenix. So as far as the side here, I'm going to be off this one. I got a few spots that I just want to hammer tonight, and I'm going to keep my exposure really, really thin, bets and DFS. But this is going to be one. It's just tough going into Denver, 11-point dogs. I'm fine moving off of this one. But yeah, Jokic always able to get it done. At 12-2, like there's so many other routes on the slate. I will probably be a little bit under on him, but because he hasn't put up any of those monster type of scores that we're used to seeing lately. So I mean, I don't know. I'm really torn. It's really going to come down to the value since I see so many other good plays. But I'm never going to talk anyone off of Jokic. So if you want to play him, play him. Picking a side here, I don't know. I'm just not betting this game. So I would lean with Tyler. I would lean with spread if you want to target this game.
Yeah, and Kevin Clunan makes a good point. Vegas is adjusting these lines because of all the heavy favorites have been covering. And I think this next game's another example here as the Houston Rockets are catching 14.5 in Utah, taking on the Jazz. Total of 231, and Rudy's not back yet. Now, Tyler, I talked about fading the Jazz without Rudy, but I think they've won, 4 or 5 in a row now without Rudy, and I can't pronounce his name, but it starts with the U, and he's jumping in. He's getting some good quality minutes when Whiteside is out.
AP knows him. He's the Kansas guy, Azubuike.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you say it?
Yeah.
He's been playing well, right? And he's kind of been, to me, kind of the key to this win streak. Whiteside's been giving him good minutes, but before they were dead when he went to the bench, and I'm still not going to try and do it. I'll have to practice off the air pronouncing that name, but I think he's giving them some quality minutes. Still 14.5 is a lot for a team who we really like the offense here, Tyler, right? We think that Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. scoring 30 in his last game, right? This team can still get some shots up. I'm leaning towards taking the points, but you guys talked me off a lot of them where I was leaning towards taking the points, and you gave me some good reasons not to. How are you approaching this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think Gobert is going to play in this game.
Oh, really?
He went through shoot around this morning fine, okay. So I know he's still listed questionable. They'll probably rule him as a game time decision here soon. My guess is he does play, so I think they win this game. He probably just goes out, changes the defense for him instantly. Houston plays no defense, especially against shooting guards. They're giving up 26 points, 3 threes to them, 6 rebounds last 30 days. If you're going to bet this game and you can get on FanDuel, I would just take the Mitchell 25 plus and win. He should eat about plus 150.
Really? You're getting plus money on that?
Yeah, so I would take that. That's probably the best route on this game because I wouldn't want to lay the points because Houston's offense could keep him in this game. And if there was any other performance double I would play, if they list Bears, I would take his rebounds up to 15 plus and win.
Wow.
Who's gonna keep him off the boards? He could play 25 minutes and grab 15 rebounds.
You think Christian Wood can do that?
No.
All right. Jonathan Nelson says these lines are crazy. Hey, I would say get used to it. The trade deadline kind of signals, right, who's in, who's out, and some of these weaker teams, right? They're just going to have problems here. And I think that the lines were a little bit short last week, and now they're getting back to where they should be. AP, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Jazz side for sure. I mean, the Rockets, they play, like Tyler said, they play no defense. They just got smoked at home by the Raptors, lost by 19. Mm-hmm. And the thing about the Jazz is they're fine pouring it on. And then the second unit can come in and continue to pour it on. So, we've seen that second unit be competitive when the Jazz were dealing with all the COVID stuff. So, and Donovan Mitchell being out. So, now with everyone healthy, yeah, I think they absolutely smoked the Rockets here. Win big. I don't feel comfortable betting that big of a spread. But if I had to bet a side, it would definitely be the Jazz side in this one. So for DFS, there's so many good guards on the slate. Mitchell 9-2. You need him to get there, quick, or you need the Rockets to hang in this one. So if I was going to play Mitchell, I would almost consider running it back with Kevin Porter because Kevin Porter Jr. has been the guy that's been putting up points recently. Last 2 games, he's looked pretty good. Do I think it's enough for them to be competitive in this game? No, not at all. I just don't. Maybe Eric Gordon being back helps, a little bit of veteran leadership there, but tough spot here going into Utah and playing when everyone's healthy, especially with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Expected back. So I'll be lower on this one, if not completely fading it in DFS. If I had to pick a side, definitely be the Jazz. I'm not betting the Rockets as road dogs here.
All right. Let's talk about an underdog that the market actually has enjoyed here. The San Antonio Spurs. This was up to +5 when it opened. It's down to +3.5. They're in Chicago taking on the Bulls. Both teams on little winning streaks here. Spurs have won 2 in a row. I think the Bulls have won 4 in a row right now. So they're both playing well. DeMar DeRozan averaging 30 points per game over his last 6 games, leading into his all-star appearance here. Tyler, we've been pretty high on taking the Spurs and the points on this show so far. Should we do it again tonight?
Yeah, I think so. No Levine for Chicago. I mean, DeRozan could have a big game. But you look, point guards have averaged, though this is for the IO prop, point guards have averaged 8 assists versus San Antonio the last 30 days. Mm-hmm. So expect him to get a ton of assists here. Centers are also grabbing 17 rebounds against San Antonio. So expect Vucevic to get a ton of rebounds. But shooting guards are absolutely killing Chicago. 24 points, 3 rebounds, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 threes. Devin Vassal's now playing about 28 minutes, spread his points, rebounds, and assists instead of 18.5. I'm taking the over there all day. That number's way too low. With all the minutes he's playing, he's definitely good for 15, 5, and 5 in this spot. And then for the game, I think the offensive firepower for the Spurs is just going to be enough to beat Chicago here. You figure it's DeRozan and Vucevic. Murray should just be able to eat at the rim. Vucevic isn't going to be able to stop him. So I like his double-double and win. If you want to get crazy, you could play his triple-double and win.
All right, AP. I think the Spurs do have the advantage here on the defensive side of the ball. I think they're better getting stops, and I like Podol in the middle a lot better than Vucevic. It's just, can this high-powered Bulls offense overcome the Spurs defense? What do you think?
Yeah, I was worried for a moment that we're going to skip this game. This is one of my favorite games.
I realized that Sammy helped me in the chat.
I'm staying patient, look at this, guys. Everyone knows I'm on the over here. We got 234-ish, 234.5, Spurs, Bulls. Spurs playing super fast, the Bulls playing fast. Neither team really is that elite defensively. Just a ton of easy buckets to be had. And I see an up and down, type of environment. I think DeJounte Murray, I think White was his boy, Derek White. He sent out that tweet. Man, he's been playing on another level since that trade. So look for him to again have a monster night here. Potential triple-double spot. I think he has a big game. I think you could run it back with the Sumu, with White, with DeRozan, Vucevic. I love game stacking this one up. And the Spurs rotation, I will say, a little bit more unpredictable than the Bulls. The Bulls are very much like the Raptors, where Ayo, Kobe, DeRozan, Vucevic, they're all likely to get 38-plus minutes in a competitive game. So that makes me like, the stuff Tyler was saying too about the props there with Ayo and with Vucevic. So give me those guys. Stack this game up. This is one I want heavy exposure to. Vassell, I think, is a phenomenal play. We're never playing Doug McDermott. Get him out of your lineups. Give me some Lonnie Walker, though, in tournaments. Got 30 minutes last game. It looks like, for a while he was in the doghouse. Maybe they're trying to get him going again. He's still really cheap. Really great game environment here. But there are a ton of bodies on the Spurs side. So really, if I'm keeping it simple on the Spurs side, it's DeJounte, Vassell, and Pirtle are the guys that I would trust the most. Everyone else, there would be some risk there from a rotation standpoint. But this game's going to be fun. I love the over here. On the side, I don't know. The Spurs are playing some inspired basketball right now. So I think it really – what I would rather do is see a very competitive game. It's going to come down to those final possessions, and makes me like the overs even more.
All right. And with people says, did I say Podol over Vucevic? On the defensive end, yes. I think Podol's a way better defender than Vucevic. I think Podol's one of the best defensive centers in the league, and Vucevic is one of the worst. So I'm not saying he's a better player, but I'm saying when it comes to anchoring my defense, I'd much rather have Podol down there. So if I wasn't clear there, wanted to clear that up. Sounds like you guys
go small ball. I'd rather just throw them both in the trash.
Oh my gosh, Podol's a good rim protector.
Is he?
If the Spurs went small, they'd be giving up layups left and right. Their perimeter defense isn't that good. I think
they give up a ton of points in the paint spread.
What's up?
They give up a ton of points in the paint. Yeah, some rim protector they got.
All right, we'll revisit this. We'll revisit this on a day that I didn't drink too much Glenlivet the night before. Let's go to the last game on the card. The Golden State Warriors are -6 in Los Angeles, taking on the Clippers with a total of 218. Warriors, right? They asked Klay Thompson, what do you guys need at the trade deadline? He said they need a new washing machine. They didn't make any moves. I personally thought that was the right idea, man. You can't give up Kuminga for a win now, dude. This kid is going to be so good in 3 to 4 years, and he's showing it in flashes right now. And I think Moody might eventually get there too, although we haven't seen much from him. But I'm kind of happy that the Warriors, kind of stayed the course. Now they're going against a Clippers team that made some interesting moves, right? Because it seemed like they were going kind of win now, and much was made about how Ballmer has more money than 15 of the other NBA owners combined, right? And he doesn't care about paying the tax. But then they shipped off Ibaka. Now, was that it doesn't seem like a win now move doing that. That felt more like, they're trying to do right by a guy, get him to a contender before things go out. I don't really know what to make of this Clippers team. This, to me, was one of the toughest games to cap because even if you run the numbers, I don't really know how you can trust them from the Clippers side. But we definitely know what we're going to get with the Warriors. 6 is a lot on the road against a scrappy team, Tyler, but what do you think?
Yeah, I got to take Golden State here. Their main trade piece they traded for is now out indefinitely, Norm Powell. Mm-hmm. They're not going to have that extra punch on offense. Golden State's just been playing lights out except for these couple games they've dropped. Mm-hmm. They did lose that Knicks game late, and then the other game they lost. But outside of that, lights out. They're on the road. In their last 5, they're 2-1-1 ATS. Mm-hmm. And then the Clippers' last 2 games at home, they're 0-2 ATS. And the Clippers haven't played a home game other than those 2 games. They haven't played a home game since January 17th. So this team just hasn't played many home games. We talk about fading teams at home when they finally get off this road stint. Mm-hmm. This is that game. Give me Golden State here to smack them. And shooting guards against the Clippers are averaging 24 points, 3 threes, 6 assists. So whichever way you want to target Clay, I like that. You could do 22 plus points, 25 plus points and win. My only worry, though, is he's still kind of only playing like 26 minutes. He's not up to that 30 range yet. And then the other ones I was looking at, they plugged in Kuminga into that starting lineup. Power forwards are killing this team. 25 points or 27 points, 16 rebounds versus them. So expect him to have a big game. You could do 7 plus rebounds and win at about plus 300, or you could do 15 plus points and win at about plus 400.
I like the rebounds better. Which one do you like better?
I like the rebounds better.
Okay. AP, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, I love that call on Kuminga because I like him as a value for fantasy purposes tonight. Pretty cheap there on DraftKings. Give me the Warriors. Man, I think this is a nice. So, I mean, the Clippers, they looked good last game against the Mavs, who torched them the previous game. It was a back-to-back situation, playing the same team, which, when you get, torched by Luka, usually you bounce back in a strong way. They still gave up a monster number to Luka. Man, Steph Curry, he's like, ever since that record, he's like been hitting like 33 to 34% of his three-point shots, which is unlike Curry. Usually he's in that 42, 41% range. He's going to get right here soon. And it's just so much firepower with Curry, with Klay Thompson. And I think the Warriors are going to, make it a point to end strong into this all-star break with a couple nice wins. So I think they get it done. And I think they win by double digits tonight. So I like the -6 on the Warriors against the Clippers. Honestly, like when it comes to DFS, and I wouldn't mind your guys' take on this. Clippers, like rotation is one that I've just struggled with for a while now. You'll see, Reggie Jackson, if he's having a good game, if the game's competitive, he gets the minutes and he can produce. We saw that last game, but he comes in with these wild games, like one against Memphis, other against the Bucks. So against these premier teams, he's struggled and he's put up some low numbers. I think at 6K, he's like a guy that could get some ownership tonight. But man, I could see them getting torched by the Warriors, or I could see the Warriors coming to play defensively. And so I'm just going to be off the Clippers. I'm probably going to be off this game completely, and I'm just going to hope that when we get to this point of the slate, that all my guys have done what they need to do, and we're just sweating this game, and hopefully it's a blowout, or hopefully we see like a 10-man, 11-man rotation from Ty Lue there. Do you guys have any read on this rotation? We saw Terrence Mann have a good game, but he's having an up-and-down season as well. I don't know. Do either of you have a take on the Clippers side here, rotation-wise?
Yeah, I think Ty Lue's kind of just going for things at this point. At this point, right, it seems like it's about development, and I think he's trying to mix and match different combinations, just see what works, and then he's putting that like kind of in a mental Rolodex, or maybe he's writing it down, right, for next year when he gets his guys back, and he's just trying to see, hey, who does well against bigger lineups, who does well in a small ball lineup, who does well together, where can I create some chemistry? Seems like there's a lot of experimentation going on, which actually I think makes it tough to predict. And I think you pretty much already answered this, but Richie Smalls wants to know about Zubac and Mann tonight, but you're worried that they don't get the minutes, right?
Yeah, Mann's coming off a nice game, but it's been a down year for him. And do I really want to target him when I do think he's going to? People look at box scores, they're going to see what he did against the Mavs, and they're going to want to play him. And I think what I'm going to do is under project him and be underweight on him, and just hope he doesn't kill me. They have Luke Kennard could come in. Actually, I think Luke Kennard might be questionable. So if Luke Kennard is out, sure, you could play Terrence Mann. For me, I like these early games. I want to stack up, I want to stack up the Spurs Bulls. I want to stack up the Kings Nets. There's pieces from those other games, Blazers Bucks, obviously, that we like. So all of my guys are already going to be starting. I'm just going to be sweating, hoping that guys like Zubac and Mann don't kill me. So, and I'm fine with that tonight. I think this is a slate where we can do that.
I think you've already answered this one as well, but just if you want to touch on it one more time, Clay 6.8, he's averaging 30 minutes a game over the last 3 and 39 DK points per game the last 4. Basically, I'm guessing that you're going to say, not a bad play, but you think you have better options on the board. Am I right there?
Yeah, I mean, if I was forced to play him, like if I was on a guy, then some news hit and I had to move off of him or whatever, and I had 7K left and Clay was my only option, sure, I'd play him. The problem is he's raw scoring dependent. I mean, in that 6'8", I want a guy that can get me 45 plus fantasy points. Clay can do that for sure. I don't know if I want it here in this matchup. I think he's going to be low owned, and if you want a guy that could just go off and hit a ton of shots, Clay's definitely the guy. I just don't think I'm going to have much of him tonight.
All right. Now, AP, usually we build a core. I am on my laptop, so I didn't have the DraftKings up while we were doing it. Do you want to get us started? And then I'm going to go ahead and Tyler and I will throw one in. Who are you going to start your lineup with tonight?
Yeah, let me pull up my sheet. Let's start with this Spurs Bulls game. I like I'll save a player for Tyler. I think so. I want to start with DeJounte Murray. He's 11K. I think he's going to be lower owned than what he should be because of that price tag. But I want exposure to him tonight.
All right, Tyler, what are you thinking?
I'm glad you saved my guy for me because I think he was going to take him again, Devin Vassell.
Okay. I thought you might go with Ayo, but no, I like Vassell too.
No, give me Vassell. He's going to be matched up with Kobe White. He's going to eat him alive tonight.
All right. If I go for some Van Fleet action, is that going to put our price tag too high? Do I need to go for a little more value there, or is Van Fleet acceptable there?
No, actually, what we could do, I like this better. So let's move off Murray. Let's go with Van Vliet, and then let's go. Why don't we go? And you guys will be torn on this one, but what if we go Vucevic there in the paint? So I know spread's not on him, but Tyler is.
Yeah, well, Tyler's been running.
I don't hate it. It's just if you're making me pick between both of them, I'd pick neither. Just I don't want either of them.
Because there's so many guys. So if I would have went with Murray, and let's just say we go, I guess you could play Vassell at the small forward spot, and then you got Van Vliet. Because one guy I do want tonight is Fox. So price is going to be factoring in. But let's go Freddie Van Vliet. I love the Vassell call. And let's go Vucevic. And then how about this? Then to make it all work, we need one more cheap value play. What if we go Marvin Bagley just for you spread? They're going to let him shine there in Detroit. He's going to come off the bench and have a big night. So I actually like him tonight quite a bit. But
okay, yeah, we'll throw Marvin Bagley in there. That's definitely a GPP core there, not a cash core, right? Because I think Bagley's got boom or bust potential. But that is it for our core. Gregory Russo knows what time it is. It is time for the best bets. Tyler, you've been on a roll. Let's keep it up. Start with you.
Yeah, my best bet's going to be Toronto for a side. It's going to be Toronto -3. I just think that's way too cheap against this New Orleans team. I think they're going to beat them up. And then as for the performance doubles, give me the Bobby Portis and win for Milwaukee.
Okay. And
then just for a single prop, if you can't get those, just because I love this one, it's way too short of a number. That Devin Vassell points, rebounds, and assists over 18.5.
Okay. And We the People adds with you. He wants to add Bobby Portis to that core we got. So, hey, that could be another interesting way to go if you're starting with the players that we gave out. AP, what's your best bet for the day, side total or prop?
Yeah, Kings -2. Absolutely love them tonight against the Nets. Think they get it done. It's going to be a fun game with a lot of points too. Love Sabonis. Love De'Aaron Fox.
All right. I think I'm going to take a page out of your book, AP, and I'm going to go over there on the Spurs and the Bulls. Right. We talked about, how the Bulls have a bunch of offense and not too much defense. And, Tyler thinks that they're going to score, even though I rate Podol pretty highly as a rim protector. And I can't say I disagree with him there. So I like the over 233.5 or 234, wherever you find that number. I got 233.5 on Bookmaker right now. So AP, nice to have you here on a Monday. Usually it's the end of the week when I see you. Now we're starting the week. And, great to see you. Anything else you want to let the people know about all the content at Run Pure Sports this week?
Yeah, NFL is over, but we are fully focused on NBA. We're PGA as well. There's huge, massive tournaments in PGA this week. So make sure you check out the content. Usually it drops. So we got a show dropping tomorrow night. We have a premium show on Wednesday. So make sure you check all of that out. And then we got NASCAR starting up here soon. MMA is going. A lot of fun stuff over here at Run Pure Sports.
All right, use the promo code GETBETS if you're not already a member. Tyler, you want to give them a message before we sign off?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be back tomorrow with another NBA rundown. Then we'll probably do a couple videos for NFL offseason. We'll definitely do some stuff for the draft as well, picks on that. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, bro, we got to give our 30-1 parlay for tonight on these performance numbers.
I didn't know if we were going to give it out today on the show, if you were going to keep it in the Discord. But okay, no, Tyler's a man of the people. I was trying to be selfish and keep it for the Run Pure Bets members, but Tyler's going to give it out for the 76 people who have decided to stick with us and watch. And of course, I know, Tyler, I already know they gave us a thumbs up, right? Because you're giving out this parlay for free. Let's hear it.
Yeah, all right. So we like the Kings, so we're going to take the first leg, going to be Sabonis, double and win.
Okay.
I like the Raptors. The second leg is going to be Van Fleet, 25+ points and win.
Okay.
And I think Jokic just absolutely feasts on Orlando down low. Him 15+ rebounds, and Denver wins that game, gets us 36-1.
15+ rebounds?
Yes, he's done it two of his last
MVP
3 games.
MVP caliber rebounding performance we're expecting tonight, Tyler. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you haven't already, please like the video. That keeps us going, keeps us high in the algorithms. I don't know how they work, but I know that they are important. So thank you very much for watching. AP, thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern with Travis.